Hi guys, hi Shabazz Palaces. Yeah, hi. You're on European tour, right? How do people here react to your music in these small, middle-sized venues? How do people react to your music?
Um, it's hard. You can't. Every place is different, so it's not all the same. But for the most part, in the smaller venues, um, the sound is clearer and it's more um, feeling exchange with the people. So it's good to play in the smaller venues. I like it.
I mean, how do people react to your maybe to your music and lyrical themes? Is it comprehensible for them? Is it clear for them? Do they follow your music?
If they don't speak English, then it's not comprehensible, you know. But music has more than just the meaning of the lyrics that translates to a crowd. So the sound, the rhythms, the movement, some things they can latch on to even if they don't speak the language.
That's the power of music. You're coming from Seattle. Is there any hip hop tradition in Seattle?
Yeah, there's a little bit of hip hop tradition in Seattle. Some of the groups never really made it out of there, but one of the guys did, Sir Mix-a-Lot. I don't know if you guys heard of Baby Got Back, but the culture's still alive, like b-boying, you know what I'm saying, breakdancing, all the elements of that, DJs, battles, you know what I'm saying. It still exists. So yeah, there's a huge culture for hip hop there.
What does hip hop mean to you?
To me, hip hop means one of the original art forms that was created in America. For me, also, it's linked to my culture, you know, black culture, and also to me, it came about in the years when I was young and forming my own identity. So I kind of came of age with hip hop, so it's very close to me, and it means a lot to me because my involvement with it has provided me opportunities to do the things that I like to do the most: is play music, travel, and explore, and see new things. So hip hop means a lot to me.
And to you?
Hip hop is a lifestyle, obviously, but for me, it just means a little bit. It means a lot because I chose to do it. I grew up playing African music, playing traditional music, playing mbita, but there was something about it that related to the situation I was in growing up, both in America first and then in Zimbabwe, and like seeing both the cultures, and I think it's one of the few untampered cultures of music, you know, created by black people in America that's still untampered, that isn't, you know, superficial to a point where you can't find, you know, original music being made that's just created from scratch. And I think that's kind of what we're doing, you know.
So hip hop in 2017 still is worthwhile. Still, yeah. Is it? Yeah. In your music, there are a lot of the cosmic or outer space influences. Why? Why you using the cosmic themes?
Well, you know, Earth is a planet in a solar system floating in space. So instead of just concentrating on Earth, we like to think of ourselves as part of the entire universe, you know. So we consider the history of that, the interaction of human beings with extraterrestrial notions and thoughts, actualities. We don't ignore that. We get into it because we feel a connection to it from long before we were born.
Yeah, and what about the other music influenced by cosmic and outer space? What about this Afro this movement, musical movement?
The outer space influences in the historical musical movement. I think it's because long time ago, ancient cultures, Egyptian cultures, African cultures, had a lot more affinity and also a lot more technology when it came to dealing with the cosmos and outer space. They wanted to understand it, and they did understand it more, and I feel like we gotten away from that. So that tradition carried through in a lot of the more open-minded and more talented musicians from back in the days. You know, a lot of them remember those memories of space, and it comes out in their music when they go to create. Those sense memories from long time ago come out, and it becomes a cosmic expression.
Yeah. And for you want to say something?
Again, with what he's agreeing with him, like where I come from in Zimbabwe, space is a very, very relevant reality. You know, it's used a lot spiritually, and it's not separated from God. You see what I'm saying? So, I've always believed that if you make the right connection in the right music, and this is just culturally for me, that you are communicating with the heavens, and sometimes you're even bringing a message from them to people in real time. So, I mean, it's always been something that's been there for me.
Thank you. You can go on to your new album. What is the main idea behind it?
There is no main idea. I don't believe in a main idea unless you're talking about some really subjective, personal expression. But for me and for artists in general, I think that your art should have many ideas included inside of it, because life contains at every second many ideas at once. One of the themes, though, is a reaction to the personal device and its prevalence in our society. And but as always, we got themes of instinct, reverence for the past, but also expanding the moment that you're in at the time. So I think those are like some of the themes that we constantly have in the music.
And do you react about the current world, maybe current political situation?
Do we react to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your music?
Yes, for sure.
I think what happens, especially what's happening now on a daily basis, especially as this tour has been, and when we started even in America and we were first getting news of a lot of crazy new, I don't know what to say, because he's never telling the truth, but whatever his ideas were, even if they are ideas, I mean, there's nights he's came up freestyling about what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And if you were there in that moment and you caught it, you know what I'm saying, you would know that it was just that what happens on the news definitely influences our show, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what should we do to survive in this world?
What should we do to survive?
How we can survive?
Right. Well, we do survive because we adapt. You know, we take into account the things that's going on, and then we try to like modify our existence in order to cope with it and also to try to thrive. Overall, it's hard to say because I don't think I know enough to offer some type of like final suggestion for human beings to survive, but I do think that we gotta pay more attention to more human aspects of life, not just technological ones and advancements, and not trying to have things immediately, but have things come over time, have more patience.
I don't want to get too political.
And my last one is, so what are you listening to, or what were your musical heroes?
My musical heroes are my father. He introduced me to a lot of different kind of music. My saxophone teacher, Mr. Irvin, when I was in junior high school, and a lot of rap music, and yeah, those are my musical.
Definitely my parents. Just growing up with parents who were musicians, father who was an ethnomusicologist, and then I would say my heroes were anybody who could kind of get me through the day, or get me through an era, or whenever I think music is done, or you start feeling bad because you can't find anything. You hear something new. He just played something new the other day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person that I need music to fuel me. You know what I'm saying? To stay motivated in what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? To know that there's other people out there that you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? There's other people making music that's relevant and that's different and it's sophisticated and it's intelligent. So many people to mention.
They tails rattle, but they fell in battle. I pop jail shout-outs while I bail Seattle. I hear the chatter, but to me it ain't matter. I'm off a stamp passport with some cake batter, getting at her. Of course I bagged her, they're shatter and batter. He's the former, I'm the latter. He got a bio, the things he bragged about me when I came.
So, my question is, the first one, I'm going to ask more about the Afrofuturistic aspect of your work, the sci-fi and the mythology, and the importance of it for people of African diaspora, so the significance of it for them, for you. So my first question is going to lead to the title of Shabazz Palaces. So can you talk a little about the Shabazz, where it comes from, and the god tribe of Shabazz, and about if it comes from there?
Well, yeah, it does come from that. Also from Malcolm X's name, but the name is an evocative name, and it brings to mind things from our culture that we represent: courage, exploration, wandering, nomadic, artistically, and also something not American, something African, something from the Middle East, from older cultures than American culture, the places that our ancestors came from, and we were brought to America, and we lose some connection with that from such a long trip over a long period of time. So we wanted to bring that back into it and represent that, and also remind ourselves of it, when we think of ourselves and our name and where we come from. So it's like, it's something that we strive to achieve, that we know is inside of us, but that we also have to continue to make some action for and work for in order to realize it.
Do you want to react to it? No. Okay, that was it? Yeah. No. Then the other question is about the sci-fi, the mythology, the world that you create. And my question is, what is sci-fi for you? What it means to you? Is it the reality that you live? Is sci-fi the reality? That's the question. So it's the importance of a sci-fi for people who are deprived of history, past, and future as well.
Well, I think literally science fiction is art, books, movies, painting that depict people in fictional situations that deal with science, technology, the cosmos, future, and imagine futures and imagine pasts, you know? But inside of that, there's, you know, if you look at a non-fiction, you know, or a historical accounts of things, the writing down of it is one person's view. So it's inherently fallible, and also it's fiction as well, because it's this person's memory. Even if they do research and come up with facts, they still aren't going to recount things truthfully, or they can't do it. So a lot of times fiction allows you to tell more truth than nonfiction does. So for us, for me, Octavia Butler was a person that wrote fictional stories, sci-fi stories, but they were so social and politically, historically, and culturally relevant that they often taught more than any kind of nonfiction things that I've ever read or been exposed to. So in a way, I believe in sci-fi and fiction more than I believe in the accounts that people tell in nonfiction books. So that's what it means to me. I mean, I could talk for a long time about it, but the essence of it is that, you know.
Thanks.
Again, just coming from another side of the of that. For us in our culture, growing up as Shono people, what we call science fiction, the rest of the world calls like voodoo, or they'll depict it in the Bible as evil or something else. You see what I'm saying? But that's how we see the world, you know what I'm saying? It's being able to heal through these certain type of things and these certain type of powers and herbs and spices and certain places you pray, and a certain time of the year that you do it, you can see this type of eclipse, and it's a different imaginable world that people don't know, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll start talking about mermaids and unicorns and coming up with all these different things. And in our culture, we don't look at it as something that's fake. We look at it as something that's real, but it's also something that's not spoke of a lot. So I believe it's imagination, you know what I'm saying? Imagination coming to life, so. Yeah.
Thanks. I wanted to ask if I still can something, and that's how, if you think that's something I'm thinking about, if you think that art has the capacity to kind of distort the present, you know, if it can, and how, if yes, then how can it provide the tools and a platform or space for fighting for an equal or more equal society, let's say just society? So what can art do when it comes to creating a better world? That sounds pathetic, but it's like that.
No, it's not pathetic. I think that art, you know, artistic people are sensitive. They're sensitive to the conditions of other human beings often. Through that sensitivity, they create. As electromagnetic beings, what we do has energy. The energy can be transmitted to other human beings and become something else, a force. So if the artist can use that energy to show society, that energy can be harnessed by other people and join together to expose, examine, and then change situations in which it doesn't seem like human beings are being fair, just, or right to one another. So it's I think it can do it in that way.
Can you ask the question one more time, because I want to make sure?
Yes. So, if I simplify it, what can art do, provide, or create? Can it provide us with the tools to fight for the more equal and hopefully equal society, just where there is a human to human, so people are treated as human beings?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, so answer. To me, art has already always done that. It's always done that. I don't care if it's Bob Marley, James Brown, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always tried to tell society what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? If it's Picasso, it's whatever it is, like paintings, everything we've seen, I think artists have always tried to do that. I just don't think artists have what it takes to be evil enough to fight the way that the evil oppressor fights in order to do things. We're not going to run around and lie just to become the president. We're not, you see what I'm saying? There's just things we're not going to do. So I think our contribution can be giving people peace of mind that there's other ways to live other than always having to be accepted by a certain class of people. You know what I'm saying? And if we want to rebel against them, we can rebel against them by all being together and being over here and overthrowing them. This has happened for thousands of years. This isn't the first era to have turmoil, you know? But I believe art does it all the time. It's just like, are they going to allow that art to be heard to the masses is the question, you know?
Thank you. The last one. Talking about your culture, the black culture, that's something that is not American, let's say, in a sense. So I wanted to ask, what's the role of the blackness and how does it affect your work? So what's the blackness, what it means in your work, and how does it affect it, changes it, or just affect it? That's it.
When we first met, what made the conversation as short as it was, as real as it was that if you're gonna say you have blackness, you know what I'm saying, like people who say that, like that's not something you have to say. You either know you are and you act it out, or you don't know. And other people can tell that, regardless to the people that say that they're quote unquote conscious rappers and everything. That's great. I mean, you can say that, but your actions are in your words, your videos, who directs the videos, you know what I'm saying, how you carry yourself in the interviews, what you talk about when you're outside of your life, how do you treat people, do you treat them equal, who does your music attract? You see what I'm saying? If your music is attracting, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be all ages, but if your music is attracting 16 and 17-year-old teeny boppers who also go listen to somebody talk about women on stripping, you know what I'm saying? And then you're conscious. Okay, there should be some balance to that, I agree. But if that's all you attract, then you're not really being what you say you're being, you know what I'm saying? And it attracts a certain type of thought process and mind state, you know what I'm saying? When people hear him rap, it's not that he's running around saying he's black, it's that you know where he's coming from. Right off top. So just because that, you're like, all right, I'm about to listen to somebody tell me something intelligent about this, what's going on about the police or what's going on about Donald Trump. I'm not about to hear somebody just with the solution. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just coming from, oh yeah, they're killing us, and then what? You know, or take a knee. Okay, that's great, but we're coming with solutions and ideas and concepts and other things in life, you know? I mean, I think health is discluded from being black. We talk about health, you know, so for it, I wouldn't say it's a part of our life. There's just no way we would ever be able to get rid of it, you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
I would say it's a difficult question because it's like blackness, the notion of blackness and black people was an invention of white people when they reacted to discovering us and the way that we looked. So it's not really a thing other than something made up to differentiate and also make a hierarchy between human beings that all are the same, actually. So as I get older in life, I tend to not really look at things that way, because once you do that, then you accept that as a truth, and I don't really accept that. So, but, you know, culturally, people of this culture have contributed a lot of good things, also some terrible ideas and actions to humanity, you know. So in that being said, I accept it. I try to know and learn as much as I can about it. But I feel like the invention of blackness was a reaction that white people invented. So I don't like to go around seeing myself as that reaction. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you. That's it. I don't have anything else.
And I'm in the back of G-Van with Roy's Choice Pop. Told me his son was about to get hot. These town niggas, I'm thinking, why not? Get reals, my ropes, some throwing a knot. I practice some blackness when macking my flows. This for the African niggas I know, like Goulet and Salah and Gerardo. They clip the A cause you serving it, bro. The usual pimp on the beat. Casablanca with GZs on my feet. Let me not shout out ECNDP. Since CAYA, I'll throw the flyway. She knew the deal.